You want to dance the mask, you must service the composer.
Do you ever find yourself stuck when trying to create a new piece of music, or you would not know how to start? Today, we are going to explore a fun way to overcome composer's block or start composing music without knowing much about the process. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into Mozart's Musikalisches Würfelspiel, also known as the musical dice game. We will learn about its history, how to play it, and how this game could help you create unique pieces of music in a fun and entertaining way. How did composers manage to be so productive and yet they didn't have a computer? With the advent of artificial intelligence, we can think of a similar system to create music today, or at least to create sketches and musical ideas for a composition. But this might be a subject for another video. Now, let's go back to the 18th century when a unique trend emerged in Europe. It involved the use of certain templates to compose music, and the consequence was the creation of the musical dice game. Musical dice games remind me a bit of the way my parents used to teach their students how to read and write sentences. My parents were elementary school teachers, and they used to give their students some words on cards, and the students had to combine them in a way that made sense. Then they had to read the sentences they had created, and then they had to write them down and have fun with sometimes really hilarious sentences that did not have much sense. Now, the musical dice games provide you with ready-to-use sentences in which you just need to switch things around and you switch the words around to get a new composition. In this case, words are measures. These games enable even the musically illiterate to create beautiful musical pieces by using prefabricated parts selected through the use of chance operations. These emerged specifically from the type of compositions that were popular at that time. Composers used well-established schemas and patterns to create what we know today as the Galant style. The popularity of such games in the 18th century was a manifestation of the age of reason. Like today, the trend was toward explaining all events through scientific investigation. And this practice depended on new developments in the fields of mathematics and science. The dice games were based on the principles of permutation, or the rearrangement of elements, and combination, or the addition and substitution of selected elements. This is called ars combinatoria, which is the systematic rearranging of materials in as many ways as possible under given conditions. From 1757 to 1812, at least 20 musical dice games were published in Europe, some in multiple editions and multiple languages. Kirnberger's The allzeitige Minuetten and Polonesen Komponist, my German is failing here, Johann Philipp Kirnberger's The Alle Zeitfertige Minuetten and Polonesen componist was the first publication of this kind, and it inspired other composers to create their own musical dice games. One of the most famous musical dice games is probably Mozart's Musikalisches Würfelspiel. Now, it is important to note that Mozart's authorship of the game is not certain, but it was common during the Galant style to use certain schemas to compose music. And so Mozart's Musikalisches Würfelspiel is a fascinating insight into the harmonic structure of the music in the 18th century. It's interesting to see how composers might have used chance operations to be very prolific and create a piece of music in a matter of hours.
You have me.
I think so.
Show me.
This game allowed anyone to create a waltz or a sort of minuet by using dice to determine which measures to use. The game consists of 272 measures of music that are divided into 16 different musical options. To play the game, you would roll 2 dice and consult a table, like in Kirnberger's game, to determine which musical option to use. In this section, we'll demonstrate Mozart's musical dice game, and you will create a waltz in a matter of a few minutes. For this, we'll use a replica of the original game published by Mozart's publisher, and our composer will be our host, who has no prior knowledge of music composition. Step 2. Grab 2 dice. Step 3. Roll the dice and use the numbers to determine which measures of music to use. Step 4. Write down the measures in the order that the dice dictate. Step 5. Perform your unique piece of music. That's the beauty of the musical dice game. It takes away the pressure of composing music from scratch. And it allows you to focus on the creative process without worrying so much about the technicalities. And I would add step 6. And if you do not like the piece of music you created, start changing things around while maintaining the harmonic and main melodic structure. For example, you could change the order of the measures or even add your own variations to the game. It's that simple. And the best part is that you can modify the score according to your own taste and wishes, making each piece of music truly unique. Algorithmic composition systems cover all aesthetics and styles and periods, with some open-ended variants offering an alternative to the fixed, never-changing compositions that define the musical limit for most of us. Non-specialists may be disappointed that composition includes seemingly arbitrary, uninspired formal methods and systems of calculation. However, What we should see here is that calculation has been part of the Western musical tradition since ever. The human mind works in learning schemas and patterns. And now don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos about music and its secrets. And if you end up composing a piece of music using this particular game, we'd love to hear it. Please share it with us in the comments section below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!